You know, when I was 12, I had a YouTube channel. I used to make videos about Pokemon Battle Revolution. Wasn't it great those days, you know? You were a kid, or maybe you were older, and you'd surf the wide open internet, unsupervised most likely, and you'd run into all kinds of crazy stuff. Some of it was a little risque, some of it was a little, questionable. Some of it was just dumb, like the smosh and the random humor stuff. But the thing that they all shared in common, that most things don't today, is that they were viable, right? Now, as I know you all love when I sit down with absolutely no edits in one long video file where I have to hope I don't completely fuck up. This is going to be one take. For maximum laziness so I can upload it directly. I want to talk about YouTube. The bottom line is this. I'll save you some time. Here's the TLDR. YouTube is purging all kinds of political people and advertising content. It's just not as viable of a platform. And not only do we need an alternative, never mind on the money front, on the exposure front. And now I'll explain why. There's your TLDR. You had your chance to click away. I'm going to ramble for like 10 minutes now. YouTube used to be viable. It used to be a place where you can come to get all kinds of exposure, marketing. People will sponsor you just to give a 20-second advertisement, a mere portion of a 10-minute video to talk about their product or service. Now, even way back in the first 2 or 3 years of YouTube, that was unheard of. It's insane to think that someone could just sit down and do something that anyone can do. My laptop, fuck, this is what I was talking about. My PC has a webcam built into it, and I'm recording this video on that. I'm sitting down, I slapped on a button-up shirt, because I got work in a little while. Nobody got time for this, you know what I mean? Which is why I'm not editing this. But, anyone can sit down with resources that are available to most people. You could sit there with a goddamn smartphone. People in the third world, maybe I shouldn't say that. People in the second world can sit down with their smartphones and make a video and upload it and potentially reach hundreds of thousands or millions, or for me, hundreds of, that's it, just hundred, of people. That's an important thing. Not just for the sake of careers and I gotta fix my hair because I didn't even comb it before I made this. Not just for the sake of a career on YouTube. I don't want to focus even so much on that. I'll get that out of the way, because what I'm trying to make is a grander political point. But for career-wise, assuming that this is something that marketers see as valuable, not just, when people talk about marketers, we tend to think of like video games or music marketing, like the Vivos and the PewDiePies or Game Grumps or whoever is even big on YouTube right now. Marketing applies just to Google AdSense. Now, oh, you know what? Maybe I should edit this because there's a picture I want to show. The new terms of service of Google AdSense, the stuff that they want to demonetize over. You know what I mean? Their list of broad shits like graphic content, sexual content, drug use, and the use of speech that can be deemed as hate speech. And that's a topic for another video. And believe me, you're gonna get it. The whole thing about this YouTube thing is, it started off as a thing anyone could contribute to, and it would even make some money. It didn't even have to be their whole career. It could be supplementary income. The point is, in a world where the fucking almighty dollar is the only thing you're supposed to care about, where money is your ability to live, being able to make it relatively easily, well, with a little bit of luck and a little bit of patience and skill to not pump out trash like my first album, but you could do something. You can make a difference. You know what I mean? You can make a difference in your own life by even a couple $100. I don't know how much AdSense used to net back in the day. It's peak. Never mind sharing the profit and the views with the what the hell are they? Multi-channel networks. Nowadays, it's usually just sponsorships and or like paid promotions, like promotional videos, or still the people who still like their AdSense that put the ads. I don't even really... Do I need to explain this to you? If you're watching this, you're either really bored, drunk, or high and passed out and left your YouTube on autoplay, or you already know what's going on. So I'll give a very brief recap. I actually don't know why. I'm assuming it was just a board meeting happened somewhere, and they were like, shit, we gotta change our advertising policies. I mean, I can look into it in a future video, but does the reason really matter? It's obviously just some, like, new quarters coming up, boys. We need some new strategies to engage our platform from the most profitable demographic we have, which is fucking kids. And I've said that years ago on videos that might still be up on this channel, even though I'm probably going to delete most of them once I start uploading my new stuff, which is in the works. Small plug. Follow the Twitter in the description for updates. See, that's the thing. I have to be that obnoxious now. I have to push. I have to do the stuff I thought I'd never do. I have to funnel what I'm doing to you and give you the option, but, like, make it very aggressive for you to subscribe to other platforms. And why do I have to do this? Because YouTube, for whatever reason, I don't know why they're doubling down on this kid demographic. I guess it's because it's so inoffensive, because there's a larger number of kids than there is every other demographic combined on YouTube, at least for the time being. Because if you think about it, as every decade, let's say, goes by, assuming that YouTube even stands a test of time, this should apply to the internet in general, but as the decades go by, the kind of young people who watched YouTube content as like a primary source of entertainment, and who were a company's primary source of income, are going to get older, to the point where it'll probably be about equalized. There's always going to be a lot of young people, assuming that birth rates don't keep declining. That's another video for another political, but there's always going to be more younger people, just because by the right people pump out fucking babies. But eventually we'll reach an equilibrium where enough people who have heard of and used the internet match the amount of young people. Right now, there's far more young people. The demographics would probably skew somewhere where, like, maybe 35 and under are the only people who know the internet on a regular enough level, who live their lives on the internet. You know what I mean? The exact kind of people that YouTube, Google, IGN, I don't know, even the Facebook... No, the Facebook groups are probably skewing older. But all these normie-ass websites are trying to market to is that... And I'm being generous saying 35, because let's be honest, it's probably about the 8 to 18 demographic. And even that's a stretch. It's probably like 8 to 14 or whatever it is. If you need any more proof of that, just look at Pokemon. And that's a video I'm working on too, by the way. This is a very small tangent. Pokemon released a customer satisfaction survey in Europe, in the Europe and Japan markets, as of the date of this video. No US market yet. And I know for the European version, there's an age indicator, or either it outright says we want this demographic, or it's in the list of options you can choose if you go to fill out the survey, where it says 8 to 15, I think it is, or something like that. So, you know, it's no secret these companies see kids and they see fucking dollar signs, you know what I mean? I'm not editing this where I'd include the, I don't care about the kids, I care about their parents' money! You know what I mean? So... I don't know why they're doubling down on kids when, as time goes on, what you have here is a beautiful funnel, the generational funnel, the access to new technology, new media, the internet, is creating a massive funnel, which is having aging people become, I mean, I'm always going to use the internet, unless this gets taken down in some kind of crazy, you know, World War III, knock on wood, but the internet's always going to be around. The internet's always going to be here. People are going to use this. Is going to become more and more of a lifestyle, up into the point where you get your dystopian VR future where people live on the internet entirely, and it's like VR chat 100% of the time, 24/7. Like, there's probably a movie, but I know there's an Adventure Time episode like that. So, you know, it doesn't make any sense to go, you know what, even though this aging demographic, you know, even though people in their mid to even late 20s now, who were the same early adopters, let's be real, I'll give credit where it's due. You millennials out there, the people that are, I think about, 7 to 10ish years older than me, people in like their early to mid 30s, I think it is. If I remember correctly, the millennial gap stops at about 94, cuts off right around before I was born. But, was it? Yeah, 94. Those people were the true early adopters of the technology that would become what we have today, at least in terms of something like video games. And of course, video games, in a weird kind of feedback loop, spurned the development of the internet, because people wanted a place to talk about their, at the time, obscure interests, you know. And unless you were unless you happened to live geographically in a place where people who wanted to talk about stuff you were interested in lived near you, you had to go online. My computer's going to auto dim because I'm talking for too long. So, but people who are in their like mid-20s now were also the early adapters of the internet. I mean, I could tell you stories about old internet shit. Papa Smurf, can I lick your ass? By the way, you can see my comments on all kinds of shit all over YouTube because I'm constantly reinforcing well, usually it's stuff, videos, material for videos, in a very vague, like, political sense. Like, me looking at Papa Smurf, can I lick your ass? That's twice I plugged this video now. I just want to see someone say Dusk Legend sent me here, because there's definitely a comment by me from, like, a week ago, because, you know what, it just popped into my head, because I thought, wait a minute, this is a thing I saw as a kid. This is something that, like, I knew. And you can make a broader point about how the tastes on the internet have changed, because that kind of like a lecherous, nonsensical flash animation is not viable, at least not as much in today's internet environment. Which brings me back to YouTube censorship, right? Now again, this isn't just your normie, the music, the video games. It's also the politics, And I'm not going to spend too much time on any of that stuff in specific. I'll have plenty of time to talk about that in their own videos. Let's see, where am I running? I'm at 11 minutes already. Let me wrap this up in about 3 minutes. There's my challenge to myself. The thing about this, and the reason I want to make this video, is twofold. One, I want to make this point. YouTube represents more than just the ability for people to make money doing something they love, right? We live in the age of the internet. It doesn't have to be YouTube, right? Personally, I have plans to start a webcomic and an online portfolio, doing photography and other things that could be sponsored or could just get your name out there, and that could be the thing that, boom, does it for you, right? Fine. It doesn't have to be YouTube. But the thing about YouTube is it's the YouTube is like, is there a more normie place on the internet? Facebook? But Facebook is kind of seeing a numbers decline, one, given that whole personal information debacle, but two, the age group on Facebook is skewing older. Younger people aren't really using Facebook that much, or at least not in the way they did like 10 years ago. I remember way back when I was in high school, Facebook was like this thing that you would use to connect to people out of state. Nowadays, for something that's called the definitive social network, you add someone you don't know, and they fucking get out their, secret spy Illuminati sunglasses, and they're like, who are you? So it kind of defeats the purpose. Therefore, I would argue that, well, obviously Google itself being the thing that, look at this, my hair represents how I feel about this. It's just becoming strung out. Here, I'll just leave it like this for the video. But YouTube, which is part of Google, represents the homepage of the internet. It's like the default page at the time being. Right? I mean, you can make the argument that there's other things that have more traffic, but what is more influential? You know what I mean? Among that, like I said, I'd say an 8 to 35 demographic, the people who will become the lawmakers and tastemakers in the future, the people who will become influential as they get older and fill up important jobs and gain more influence and power in society, the people who will become politicians, singers, songwriters, writers, thinkers, newscasters, journalists, media, businessmen, investors, entrepreneurs, right now, are being fed into by YouTube. And so it's very important. This is the idea marketplace. And it's sad, honestly, that we can't just do that in person. This is the new Rome, right? This is our salon. This is our no, that was pretty much the last word I would have used. This is what it is. This is your chance to be influential. This is your chance, other than getting your literal soapbox and standing on the street corner where, like, nobody's going to listen to you. This is your chance to be heard in some capacity, whether you're going to rant about video games or politics, or you do it like me and get a separate channel for each. This is your chance to do it. And if that is impeded upon, and there's not a viable alternative or several separate viable alternative, which, as I said before, it doesn't have to be YouTube, luckily we still see some degree, God damn, I'm gassy today, some degree of freedom elsewhere on the internet. But if the big tastemaker right now is doing that, then the trend is going to skew outwards. Especially if, God forbid, YouTube dissolves, if it implodes, if it blows up without reforming itself anytime soon, if enough people leave, it loses money, which it never will. It'll probably just become YouTube Kids, let's be honest, of all the people who are like over like 16 leave this website. So this has the potential to spread out. It's precedent. Now a lot of people say slippery slope is a fallacy. I say it's well, applied without careful consideration and context, yeah, it'd be fallacious to say anything is a slippery slope to anything else. But precedent is a powerful thing. And it drives people one of two ways. Either they see what has been done and they do it, or they see what's been done and do something else distinct, separate, different from it. It's not that complicated. Human behavior, I mean, yeah, it's very unpredictable, but in a broader sense, very predictable. They're either going to follow the trend or deny the trend, try to start their own. What that means for a society that has this box, not just YouTube, the internet at large, as its central hub of ideas, in a world where people like from the UN, I don't have exact quotes on me, honestly, and again, I'm not editing this, I'm way too tired. In a world where people in the UN go, the internet is the last unregulated big bastion of uncontrollable crime and hate speech, and I'm turning to Bernie Sanders, the internet is the last bastion for uninhibited economic progress, Bitcoin, you know, people, these old dinosaurs, and I hate to use that kind of term because, you know, I don't hate on old people just for being old, but they really are out of touch. They really are. It's funny because it took me getting older. When I was younger, I naively assumed that I was like, yeah, old people aren't that out of touch. But now that I'm a little older myself, old people are stupid out of touch. They want to infect, you know, this pure place with regulation, you know. I understand that there's a need to regulate something with this much earning potential. I mean, I guess we can't just have the Wild West shootout days, you know, where it was like make your videos or whatever and you're making money, but not even being able to curse. I wasn't keeping track, but I probably said fuck or something. Oh, I just said it again. I'm not going to make money off this now. And look, again, not that I'm doing this entirely for the money. Exposure is in itself its own reward, and I will continue to make videos. This is not that anyone really cares, but if you were wondering, that's my confirmation. I will continue to make videos because exposure is more valuable to me than any immediate money. Because one, it leads to money, but two, it's more important to have idealistic. No, that's not the word. It's more important to have influence in the marketplace of ideas, you know, than money. Money, obviously, I want money. I need to survive. I need to buy more shirts from Walmart to wear haphazardly so I can make a video. The second point of me making, I said there was 2 points, and by the way, I'm way over that 3-minute mark. Yeah, I am. The second purpose I had in making this video is to announce to you, the viewers, anyone who gives a shit about my channel, let me pull myself together so I can address you real quick, okay? The second part of this was just to have a little bit of plugs at the end. Follow my accounts in the links below for all my accounts on stuff. I'm not going to use Twitter like that, because I mean, the second I really started using it, they give me the fucking ban hammer anyway. Because I'm a conservative, ruh-roh-raggy. But, you know, I get the ban hammer anyway, but I will use it to update you, the viewers, who care. Probably not any of the ones I have now, because they're probably all holdovers from years ago who probably forget who the fuck I am when I upload another video. But, I have some videos planned. They're going to take a little while to make, because I want to make them good. What I'm going to do is make them all in one big batch so I can slowly drip them out and continue to work on them after the fact. I'm not going to get too personal with it, but I'm at a point with my job and with having graduated. Hey, yo, give me some fucking skin. I'm done with, like, fucking 5-6 years of college now. Not for good reasons that it took that long, but I can do this. This is adult. I'm here. I'm done. I did my forced extra juvenile infantilization period. You know, I'm officially a man in the eyes of society, even though my puberty stuff all happened, you know, well over a decade ago. But in the eyes of society, now that I got that fucking paper, I'm a man. Oh, I got that college. This is the degree I'm holding. I'm jerking that degree right. Oh yeah, give me the experience. And it comes all. And the point is, I have more time to do this. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm gonna end this now because this is getting stupid. Look, I'll end it before 20.